Good morning, friends. I have no idea what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. I'm heading to post right now because I'm going to get results for some testing that I did yesterday. Got my body fat percentage tested through the Bod Pod test, which is the air pressure test, and then I also did metabolic testing. That is what I'm going on post to get the results for. So I'm pretty excited. I'm kind of curious to see how different the RMR results, which is the resting metabolic rate, is compared to what the Bod Pod test puts out. Because if you take a Bod Pod test, they will usually calculate out what your resting metabolic rate is, and then based on that you can kind of figure out your macros. So I'm kind of excited to see what the difference is, if there is any difference. But yeah, that's where I'm headed to right now. I'm back home now, and I have the test results from the metabolic testing, and it actually was very interesting. There was like a mini class about macros and, you know, just how to overall be healthy and to get the results that you want to get, whether it's increasing your exercise or improving your diet. I'm not sure if I went entirely into it, but for my Bod Pod test that I took yesterday, I came in at 32% body fat, which it's considered excess fat, but I'm just right on the edge between excess fat and moderately lean, although I would like to see myself decrease in 10% body fat. Well, I'd like to be around 25 to 22% body fat overall. And with the Bod Pod test yesterday, it didn't have an RMR, so I'm kind of looking at my test results from last year on my Bod Pod, because that did come with an RMR, and the percentage is for each test from yesterday versus last year are basically the same. The only major difference is I gained a pound of fat and two pounds of muscle. So the RMR for last year's Bod Pod test came in at 1,165 calories, which was pretty interesting. Just to reiterate, the RMR is the resting metabolic rate, which means that's how many calories I burn if I were to just sit here all day and do nothing. Just like, you know, breathing, fidgeting. According to the Bod Pod from last year, I would burn 1,165 calories. Now, I'm not sure how that was calculated because I didn't do a metabolic test. I just did the Bod Pod test, but that's the results that I got for that. Now let's jump to today, an actual specific test for metabolic rate, and my RMR came in at 1,428 calories. And that's a pretty significant difference. I don't know, I have to do the calculation, but it's a good difference between the two. And I would assume that the RMR from yesterday's test, which was specifically to figure out what my metabolic rate was, is gonna be more accurate than the Bod Pod test, which didn't really, I mean, it was more for body fat rather than the RMR. Now I have some set numbers of where I'm gonna start off with in terms of finding my macros. Yeah. So the macros that I'm trying to dial down to are macros that I got through the Katie Hearn macro calculator, and between the calculator results online versus the results that I got from my metabolic testing, they're basically the same as far as calorie intake goes. I think the macro calculator has me at 1669 and the results from the metabolic test are like roughly 50 calories fewer than that. So the macros off of the Katie Hearn calculator based on my body fat and my exercise routine is that I'm going to be having an intake of 1,669 calories. Carb intake is going to be at 165.3 grams. Protein's going to be at 141 grams. And fat is going to be at 49.3 grams. And like I said, hopefully by the time next week hits, no, not hopefully, by the time Monday comes around, I'm planning on being more strict with my macro intake, and I will be also starting a new 12-week program. I'm going to stick to that plan and see what happens in 12 weeks. I'm not in a competition or anything. It's just I want to see what I can do with the resources that I have available to me and then go from there. So yeah, I'm going to end the vlog here. Hopefully that was kind of informative. So I'll see you guys next time on the Flippy Flop.